Good evening. Welcome to the Board of Assessors meeting of Tuesday, November 14th. In accordance with Chapter 30A, Section 20, I need to ask if anyone is taping this meeting besides LCAT and this office. The answer to that would be no. The first order of business then is to review the minutes of October 17th. Mr. Johnson, Clerk of the Board.
Madam Chairman, I have reviewed the open session and executive session minutes for October 17th and find them to be in order and move that they be approved.
Second that.
Is there any further discussion? Any omissions, corrections? Hearing none. All those in favor of accepting the minutes of October 17th, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We have no appointments this evening, and our administrative agenda is to sign some warrants for motor vehicle excise, boat abatements that took place during the month of October. Okay, and this is dated November 14th.
That's today.
Yes, that's today's date. That's because we're
Thank you for
signing it
shouting
today.
Well, that's dated November 14th.
And then we have a motor vehicle abatement report to the amount of $3,938 abated, 66 abatements. Doesn't even look like my writing. Now, on the agenda, it says we have a notice to the accountant, however, I do not find it.
I'm sorry, we had to rescind that. The reason that we are rescinding that is because last month, or last meeting on the 17th, you signed 2 warrants to the collector for betterment payment, but
Yeah.
since the person did not come through with the betterment payment, we had to rescind that payment because naturally the interest changes daily.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the only thing that was on,
Okay, very good.
so.
All right, next item on the agenda is the LA3 sales report for the month of October.
And that's on page 6 of your agenda.
Boy, I noticed a lot in the 80%, 83% range. There's a couple of, is it the land sales that were .77? Yes.
Yes, we had one land
2
sale.
land sales that were .77.
Oh,
Where I saw one, where'd you see the second?
The second one is about mid-page,
the heirs and devisees of a property?
yeah.
Because that was a house.
There's one that's .92, I see that one.
Yeah.
.77, .92.
No, there's another point. There's a .77 at the top of the page, and
Yeah.
then midway down, there's another .77.
That's for a house, so not for a 130.
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
Yep, so I told you they were coming.
Yeah, yeah, you were right. Any further comments on the LA3?
You have any questions on any of those, Diane?
I'm just waiting to see if we get any response back from the one commercial condo.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I see what you're
Oh.
saying. I don't know
Yeah,
anything
that
about
was a
one.
lower sale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was,
I think that might be normal.
I don't know, and especially, what's the address on that one?
Well,
That's,
you don't,
200 North Main.
yeah, but you don't see which suite it is, so
Right.
there
Yeah.
are quite a few of them
That
over
one's
there.
behind, Coughlin's, that development back there.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Any other comment? We'll move forward then.
Yep.
The next one would be, I have the building permit report, which we have in hard copy because Diane didn't get it in time, she just received this today.
Oh, okay. Any new constructions?
Yep, you do have a
So-
copy, but yes, there's
I
3
do?
new dwellings.
Okay.
There's 3 new dwellings. So that'll bring us 20 year-to-date through the end of October. I have already received 2 more notifications on 2 new homes, so we're
How many did you say, I'm sorry?
20 through the end of October.
Okay.
And I already am aware of 2 more.
Really?
One on Waterman and one on Vineland.
They keep finding low places to put them, huh?
Yeah.
Solar is still continuing. We have 6 of them this month.
Any further comments on the building
Nope,
permit
none here.
report? Okay. And the next thing administratively is the director's update.
So as you can see, there were 3 planning board decisions that were received. All of them were approved. They have already been, probably you've seen it on LCAP. FY18 certification of values, although it is also on our agenda after my report, but I'm very happy to say that we finally received approval for our certification of values and our new growth for fiscal 18, and that was just last November. It took us almost 2 months to get that.
That's the longest
Yeah.
ever
Good job, Diane.
Yeah.
for us,
Walked
I
it
think.
through.
And so we know that we have to have our tax classification hearing, and that's the last step before we can go through to set the tax rate. And we are planning on the tax classification hearing to be with the town council on November 28th. In speaking with the clerk for the town council, it will be at 6:30. So in conversation with our chairman, we thought it might be best to just meet for a brief meeting prior to meeting with the town council. The same night, the same place. I will book a room at the Council on Aging, and we can just finish any sign-offs on our tax recap at that time. So that's where I stand right now. So the work plan, we were a little bit behind. I'm presently working on the recap with the municipal finance director, and I hope to have some pretty concrete information to the board within the next week or so.
The new values are online.
No, the new values are still posted as preliminary values, which is still on our town website. We will not have our new property record cards on our town website until probably the last week in December. But anyone is welcome to come in and get a copy. No values were changed from what we submitted to the state, so I possibly could go in and update my spreadsheet to now say actual values instead of preliminary.
Now that we've been certified, they
Yeah.
can be.
So with that said, it was tough going this year, but we got it done.
Yeah. Well, actually, when you look at it, the tax rate set, it's really only almost just a 2-week delay because the original work plan that you submitted to the state was that working on the recap through November 10th. So
Yeah.
you're working on the recap now, and,
Right.
and today's the 14th.
Yes.
So that's
Yes. And
that's not too bad.
so, yeah.
Okay.
So the only other thing that I would add to this is I did provide you the notification of final certification, which is on your
Yes.
your computers,
I
and
printed it out at home.
it basically gives us the directives for any future recertification, and our next fiscal year is 2023, that we will have a full recertification. In the interim, we still have to review all of our information and update values according to what the market is happening in our municipality. So these will be the directives that they will be looking to make sure that we fulfill. I think they're pretty much all kind of like cut and paste.
Yes.
Cyclical re-inspections, we know that that's mandated by the state. We have to review properties every 10 years in order to be recertified.
Every 10 years, every 5 years?
Personal property is
personal property.
Personal property is every 5 years, and real estate is every 10 years. So we need to continue our cyclical inspection program. And the state does look for us to be able to get some good information on each of these visits.
Yeah.
They always tell us to look for our land schedules to make sure that we are doing it correctly. And they know that we have vision software, because the state, that's one of the things that they add onto the work plan.
Mm-hmm.
And they know that vision has a very large upgrade. So I am to assume that every community who is being recertified is going to have ensure that your CAMA system works.
Yes.
So I don't think that this is a very difficult directive to.
No. The only one I found specific was the requirement on the spreadsheets,
Yeah,
so that it's compatible with what they work with.
right.
So, no, that's good. We made it through.
Yes, we did.
You made it through.
Yes. So that was all I had, and that also covered the recertification, which is the next item on our agenda. So if the board
Right.
needs to add any more to that, feel free.
No, anybody have any comments on the recertification? I thank Diane for all her hard work getting us through it. She's the one that had to do the contract administration with the vendor and oversee everything that was done, and then present it to us so we could either question it or accept it, or advise that more work was needed. So thank you, Diane.
You're welcome.
Okay, any other comments from the board?
Well, congratulations to Diana getting this thing done so that we can get the 11/28 date for the classification hearing.
Right. The last step.
Yes, well, we know the tax bills will be timely, at
Yes.
least we've done our part.
Yep.
Okay, is there any other old business or new business? Hearing none, I will move that we go into executive session for the purpose of considering some chapter land applications and some motor vehicle excise abatements. Both of those, going into executive session respects the privacy of the individuals, since there is financial information involved. I will call for a roll call vote. Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Grudgeon?
Yes.
Christine Saunier, yes.